that had breath shout for joy. Everything that has breath shout for joy. 'Cause everything that is beautiful belongs to you. And the earth it is the Lord's. Everything is yours.
Good evening. Welcome to Old Taste and See Cooking Show Talk Show. My name is Keisha Jones, your host on tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about what are our favorite foods and why. And then we're going to share some ingredients about our favorite foods. Now I will have to introduce the people, our guests that's on this show on tonight. We have to my right, Felicia.
Amen.
And to my left, we have Cynthia.
Hello.
Now, these awesome women of God are great cooks in ministry of Jesus People Church. They do so much to make sure that we have good tasting food, even healthy food. And you know, sometimes we got those foods that are not so healthy for us, but we just can't wait to eat. But on tonight, we're going to talk about some favorite foods of ours and why they're our favorites. Some may have health factors, some may not. But I'm going to start with Sister Felicia. Felicia, tell me about your favorite foods and why it's your favorite.
I actually just recently made a soup. It's actually a awesome soup. It has all vegetables. You can put chicken, grilled chicken if you want. And I have a problem with my digestive system. So if you have a problem with your digestive system, this soup works wonders. It'll make you lose weight. We're getting ready for the summer, so a lot of young ladies, women's, men's, however want to be in bathing suit, swimsuit. And this soup is all natural, no diet pills or anything will actually make you lose weight. And you can lose up to 10 pounds in less than 2 weeks.
That's amazing.
All natural, and it's just soup, it's just vegetables. So that's my favorite food thus far this summer.
Okay, so that's an awesome point you made about taking diet pills and these different types of supplements to help us take off some of the weight. Now you're talking about something that is actually natural, that have the natural things that we need to really help us take off the excess fat that we are having. And then it's getting warm. We are dealing now even with the coronavirus. We're staying at home. We're social distancing. And as we stay at home, what happens when we're at home? We eat so much. We forget to exercise. We get comfortable. And, you know, that weight start picking up even the more. So that's awesome that it's a soup as well. So that lets us know it's never too hot to eat some soup. It never get too warm to eat soup. And soup is something that really actually is soothing right now. Even they're saying now, even more with health factors in regarding even to the corona, that having something like a hot liquid and something warm can actually help die down the bacteria, the germs that is due to coronavirus. Also, Sister Cynthia, I want you to share as well your favorite food and why.
Well, my favorite food just so happens to be mac and cheese, which I have a family recipe, and it's really just brings the family together because everybody likes the macaroni and cheese. It's almost like the party starter. So no matter what you have a macaroni and cheese. And if you want to be a little more healthier with it, you can change your pasta into wheat pasta so you don't have to have the regular flour pasta. There's different cheese out there. There's cheese that's like a different type of cheese is not made from milk.
Right.
So it's different things out there you can make it with, but macaroni and cheese just so happen to be my favorite, and mine is a 7 cheese macaroni and cheese. So it's a lot of cheese.
That sounds good. And I'm looking at the fact that you said it's something to bring the family together, and which is really important right now too, that we still incorporate family, no matter if it's social distancing, whether it's on social media, we FaceTiming all the time, but when it comes to the family, it's good to have that food. That's like a comfort food, macaroni and cheese, to bring that family together, especially when it's a traditional dish. And like you said, there are ways to make it healthier, or you know, you can have your non-dairy cheeses. And speaking of that, I recall that you have once been on a keto. diet.
Yes.
So how did that work out with you?
Well, the keto diet is not just a diet, it's a lifestyle. So you have to be willing to change the way you eat. You have to exercise more, so it's not any diet pills. You don't have to take any type of medication. Cheese is actually one of the things that you can eat on the keto diet.
Okay.
So because everything is natural fats. So as long as it's a natural fat, you're able to eat it. Like a lot of people say bacon is bad, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. But when you have uncured bacon, it has natural fat, so your body burns the fat. If you use butter, not margarine, you use butter, your body burns the butter because it's a natural fat. All of these things are natural, and your body processes it. Everything that's the processed things that they sell, the margarine, other cheese that's not really from milk, they have a lot of other ingredients that work against your body. So when you take in natural fats, your body burns the fat. So I went from 235 down to 210 within a month and a half, and that was because I changed my lifestyle, not just my foods, but it was like once you change your food, you work out, you change your mind, you think different, you think more about the way that you live in your life. So when you go on keto, it's a major life change. It's not just food.
Okay. And that's very powerful. You mentioned about exercising, so that's real important as well. Even though we take in a lot of food, no matter how healthy you eat, it's always about, are we being active in the process of it? I mean, we can eat healthy and still pick up some weight. We can eat all day long the vegetables and the fruits, but if we don't take time and do some cardio, just walking, working out, even now we're staying at home, people that have to work at home, you still got to figure out ways to keep the weight off of you. I read that they suggested that you should not set your office place in the kitchen, which makes sense. You know, why would you set up your desk and everything in the kitchen? You got all the access to the refrigerator, to all that food. You have to learn how to stand up sometime. It's good to just stand up, do some knee bends, just stretch every once in a while. Have a routine, just as you do on a job. When you go to a building, you have your lunchtime, you have your little 15-minute break or so. You eat a snack, eat something healthy. Not to consume a lot of caffeine. That's very crucial right now. It's getting warm, so quite naturally our thirst will always be for that sugar, so we have to kind of stay away from that. Now, you all talk about your favorite food. You got the soup that is now, showing progress with you with your digestive system, which is really important because people do have delicate digestive system. My daughter is one have a delicate digestive system, so she can't, much as she loves spicy food, she got to kind of stay away from that because it can mess up your insides. It's a terrible feeling to always have heartburn and nausea and being weak and fatigued because of certain foods that we eat. And then you mentioned about the macaroni and cheese being a comfort food, a family food, and then your experience with the keto, how it was a lifestyle where you just put your mind to something, you can do anything you want to do, and nothing fails when God is always in the plan of. God will actually show you how to create that soup, how to create that macaroni and cheese, or what to put in your body as a keto. And then you stated that most of the foods were natural. We always getting something mixed and mingled with because it's reduced fat. I've been told with the cheese that says fat-free, it has more sodium in it. So even eating that, we consume too much of that. Now we're at a state that we can give ourselves high blood pressure, and the salt in it can be bad for us, but although it says fat-free. And that's the catch. We got to be real careful of what we see on the label and read actually the breakdown of what's in it instead of just going by the label of something. My favorite food is actually spinach, one of my favorite foods, and the reason why is there's so many things you can do with spinach. spinach. I mean, you can eat it cold, you can eat it hot, you can freeze it, you can take it out, unthaw it, you can put it in your omelet, you can make it as a side dish, you can make it as your main dish. And of course it has a lot of healthy factors. Now we can make it unhealthy too, because I love creamy spinach dip. You know, and of course we got the cheese all in it. We got sour cream. We got all the fattenings in it to make that spinach dip, you know, real tasty and good. But spinach has a lot of iron in it. It has vitamin E in it, things we need for our skin and our hair and our nails. You can saute it with onions and garlic. Sometimes you just eat it and saute it, chop it up, put it with olive oil, and it becomes almost like a superfood, really, spinach. You can just make it with spinach all day. I know I can use spinach in a lot of stuff. Even now with the smoothies, they're putting spinach in it or kale in it, you know. So spinach has a lot of nutrients in it, and it's really healthy. Now the funny thing is, when I was smaller, when I was a little girl, I couldn't stand spinach because my mom only fixed it one kind of way. So I'm like, it's got to be something better than this. She only fixes spinach one way. So therefore I'm not liking it, right. You know. So but as I got older, you know, we experiment, we try different stuff, we look at other people's shows and observe how they cook this and cook that, and we add our little touch to it, you know, let the Lord use us. Okay, they put this and I'm put this in here, and we sum it all up, mix it up, and it comes out better. So that's one of my favorite dishes, and you know, I love spinach. Now, have any of you had any child experience where something was disgusting and now as you're an adult you're liking it because you're doing something different to it? Felicia, can you share on that?
One thing, I mean, a cake. I love cake. My mama used to bake cakes all the time. Of course, it was out the box. It was never homemade. But I learned now that instead of I use all-purpose flour, but it's all-purpose wheat flour to make it even more healthier. And I may use, instead of white sugar, I may use brown sugar.
Right.
Versus the white sugar. And also, instead of using the regular icing, I make a whipped icing to even make it more healthier.
Yes.
So it's different things that we can do to make food healthier. And then I fixed a cake on last Sunday, and it was actually a dark chocolate mint Kit Kat cake. And that was my first time making it, and everybody loved it. But it was a healthy cake, and no one knew that. So if I had told them that, they wouldn't have ate it. So no one knew I used wheat flour to make the cake. And they wrote it out. So sometimes sometimes don't even tell them what's in it. You have to do that like we do our kids to make them eat it, because if they know it's wheat, nah, I ain't gonna try it at home like that. So it was actually wheat flour and brown sugar versus white sugar. And so, I mean, I'm telling them now, they probably won't eat it no more. But it was actually healthy for you. So you don't have to use all the white sugar and the white all-purpose flour. You can use certain things and you won't be able to tell. If you don't tell nobody, don't tell them, and they'll still eat healthier.
That's a blessing. And then you have to sometimes just tell them, just try it. Sometimes we judge things based upon what we think that's in it,
right?
Based on, instead of just trying it out for yourself to see. So that's awesome, and it's good that you use, you know, those sugars that are not chemically broken down. That's what that white sugar is, and the flour is bleached, so it's chemically broke down. So when we're able to add more natural things in our body and our life, that makes it a lot better for us, and then it helps our digestive system, whether we know it or not. Now I know some people can't handle wheat, so now they got this gluten-free thing. So even in that you can experiment, because you've done some stuff. You have made some cakes, you have made some bread. I mean, you have made some things where dealing with the keto.
Keto dressing.
The keto dressing. And and it looked just like regular dressing. You would not know that it's keto, and it tastes just as good. And Felicia has also created a recipe for a keto dressing. Sister Cynthia, what are some keto recipes that you have done?
Well, so far I've done a lot with cauliflower, because cauliflower is most definitely one of the main things that's a keto lifestyle, because you can turn it into anything. They have cauliflower rice, mashed cauliflower, so which takes on the mashed potatoes or the rice. But I actually like to saute my cauliflower and then bake it with my cheese and my vegetables, because like I said, cheese is keto. And I don't use regular salt. I don't use iodized salt. I always use pink Himalayan salt. And I use other seasonings like Mrs. Dash. I don't really do a lot of the salt and pepper, because that's never been me even before the keto. But
that's good.
Cauliflower is most definitely one of my major keto products. Even with baking a pizza, the crust is cauliflower crust. So cauliflower goes a long way in any keto dish.
And I've tried the cauliflower pizza, and it's pretty good. I mean, like I said, you just can't judge everything based upon what you think that's in it. When you taste it, don't say nothing, just taste it, let them taste it.
Right.
And they'll find out like, wow, this is really good. This is not bad at all. So, yeah, cauliflower it's so many ways to make cauliflower. I didn't even know cauliflower, you can do so many things with it, It looked like rice. You can make it stir-fry kind of like if you want to. Like you said, the mashed cauliflower, that cheese is awesome in the cauliflower, may I say. It's just like the family of the broccoli in a sense, but it's just, it's healthy, So it's always ways to make food even healthy, good, and taste good. And just thinking of the foods, even biblically, the foods that we eat now, or most of them or some of them, they are all actually healing foods. Just like the spinach is considered a healing food. The cauliflower would probably fit in that category, because it's a vegetable that has come from the ground. They call those field foods. And then you definitely got your soup and your chicken and things like that, something that is light. And that's another thing, is getting warm. So we do got to take it light on what we eat, because as it get warm, for some reason, have you noticed when you eat something real heavy, you feel heavy, you feel slowful, you feel tired,
sleepy,
and you get sleepy, you want to go to sleep afterwards. But we need that energetic food. That soup sound energetic, cauliflower energetic. It's not even heavy on the stomach or anything. I made a dish with cauliflower, but I mix it because I love spinach. So I'm chopping up spinach and the cauliflower and putting the cheese on it and baking it, and it comes out wonderful. Just coming up with different ways to do stuff and experiment with it. What's the worst can happen? It's just gonna taste bad. You just try again with something else. So it's nothing wrong with it. These are even for people that really don't cook. Take time out and just learn and put foods that you like. I know everybody has a favorite food. Everybody have a reason why it's their favorite food, whether they make it or not. But if it's something that's your favorite, and I would like the best way to cook foods are the foods that you are really in love with, in a sense. You really like those foods. And for some reason, them be the foods you really do well with.
Right.
Tell me, Cynthia, about some of the foods, besides just the macaroni and cheese, but what are some foods that you really like now, because you figure out other ways and methods to cook it?
One that I really like is cabbage. When I was younger, I did not like cabbage. I thought they were cutting up onions, and I don't eat onions, and so I was like, I'm not eating it. So one day my mother-in-law asked me to cook her cabbage because she didn't feel like cooking, and I had never cooked it before. So I went in the kitchen, and I cooked it. I put in what I thought should be in there. And so after that, it was going from cooking cabbage one way, then I started braising the cabbage and adding apples and different things to it to make it taste different. So it's like it went from just my mama's cabbage in the kitchen to my cabbage to cabbage that my kids want to eat and cabbage that they'll cook for their kids when it's time for them to cook. Like, I always make things a little bit better than what they taste like. Sometimes I really don't even taste my cooking until it's all done. I let somebody else taste it so that they can tell me, you know, because I can taste it and it'll be good to me, but is it good to somebody else?
And it works out best that way, because a lot of times I think most cooks don't really just eat their cooking. You know, if you think about it, I mean, you'll taste it, but you know, you rather for somebody else to taste it. You know, I have to ask a lot of times, is it over seasoned, or did I do too much of this or that? You know, I don't know. And then, you know how we are our worst critics anyway. So we're going to say, oh, I could have did that a lot better. Tell me, Sister Felicia, about some foods that, you know, that your kids didn't like, but now they like them because you made it better for them to eat.
For one is grilled chicken, because you got so many seasons out there. When we was growing up, it was just Laren seasoned salt, salt and pepper. That's all we had out there. So now I just focus on mixing different type of seasoning and just get each vegetable a different taste versus just salt and pepper.
Right.
So it's a lot of seasons out on the market now that, wow, that can make it, I mean, make it seem like that you at a exclusive restaurant, you can do it at home, and you'd be surprised. And most of the time I use a George Foreman grill. You don't have to go outside and have a grill. So most of the time, I mean, you can use vegetable with the George Foreman grill. You can do the air fryer with the vegetables. So it's a lot of vegetables now that my kids didn't eat that they love because of the different type of machines out there and the different type of seasoning and the sauteing, and you know, you just gotta try it before you decide to say, hey, I don't like it. It's just like the soup. I'm like, I never had soup with sweet potatoes in it. Never. And the soup that I make now, it has sweet potatoes in it. And I'm like, I don't know about that, but
that sounds good.
Yeah, so it actually has sweet potatoes and allspice and basil. And the best part about it is it's not tomato based, because if you have, like you said, Ayana, if you have like acid reflux and heartburn's real bad, tomato is horrible. Any type of tomato base is horrible. And if you notice, most soups have tomatoes in it or tomato base, and this soup is not tomato based. It's chicken broth and it has sweet potato, and you'd be surprised. People like, you eating soup with sweet potato? I couldn't imagine. You know, we used to the white potato, but this soup calls for sweet potatoes, so it's the best soup that I have ever made or tried.
Oh, that's awesome. And you know, you gonna have to display that real soon. real soon. And not only that, I want to also mention with Cynthia, you went to culinary school.
Yes, I did.
So I mean, just, you know, these are just awesome, talented women, even in the house of God, even in everything they do their best in. And how was your experience in culinary school, and what did you get more? Basically, we already come in knowing how to cook, but it's something extra about going to school and getting a little more about it.
My whole point for going to school was so that I could make more money, because I was already a cook from the beginning. My mom wasn't the type that pushed you out the kitchen. She let you come in the kitchen that you would be able to cook. At the age of 16, I was making Thanksgiving dinners for my family already. So when I went to school, it was basically about furthering my education so that I could be more, I could pretty much know more about, you know, the cutting and how to go by doing things the right way, which one thing they have is my favorite is called mise en place, which means everything in place and in order. So that means I'm not coming in the kitchen to cook and looking for everything. When I come in the kitchen, I set everything up so I don't have to go back. So my cooking is quicker and I can get it done quicker because I have everything and I don't have to go back looking for stuff. Everything is there, and I even have it on me and always. That's one of the main things that I learned there. But I also was able to go into international cooking, which allowed me to do Japanese, Korean, Italian, any nationality that cook anything different than what we have, I'm able to cook it. So it was a great experience, but my favorite was pastry. I love to bake. I'll bake you under a house. And it's like, when I left school, I left there knowing way more than what I started with, but I always cook.
Wow, that's awesome. And I like that you said that you learned to have everything really just set up before you, not looking for your spices and your seasoning. Everything was in place. It was in order. And sometimes that do holds us up a little bit. That's how we mess up a lot of times. Like, I didn't know I ran out of this, and I thought I had it,
Right.
you know.
And you can also use that in life itself, not just even in
Yes,
the
I
kitchen.
see that.
So
you know, that's awesome. Now I got my mind set to make sure I have all my ingredients out before I even start.
Right.
'Cause and honestly, like right now, I'm supposed to make spinach. So I know I'm missing something because I noticed last night after I got the spinach that, hey, I'm missing my garlic. And I thought I had garlic. But, I mean, it's awesome to have everything lined up on line. And that's how the Bible even tells us, line up on line, precept upon precept. You know, here a little, there a little. We have to have things decent and in order. I mean, that's in everything we do, and we can use that as life itself, you know, not just in culinary school or even just on a job, but even in our homes, even with our lifestyle that we have, and even with the food, it has to be decent and in order. And it's all about being balanced with food. Tell me, Sister Felicia, how lately you've been more balanced with food, and not only just food, but even I noticed, I mean, this is a walking woman right here too, always walking and exercising, walking. Tell us about that.
Actually, I mean, now that the gym is, now all the gyms are closed, which I was doing this before the gym was closed, so this wasn't nothing but the Holy Ghost. And not only that, I actually go run up and down my steps. I actually walk from my living room to my kitchen, and I do 5 miles. People may think I'm exaggerating. Literally, I count my steps, and I do anywhere from 10,000 steps to 15,000 steps just walking around in my living room trying to keep my heart rate up, trying to keep my weight down. So you don't have to join a gym to keep your weight down, to keep your heart rate up. You can actually, I mean, if you got steps, run up and down your step. If you got a living room, just walk around the living room. You'd be surprised how much weight you can lose just walking around in your house.
Wow, and that is awesome that we do need to take, and doing this stay at home, this is really an opportunity to take advantage of what we already have. And we be thinking we got to go somewhere to get it, and we got it right there. And it's a blessing that we have our favorite foods. We know how to cook them. We know how to experiment with them. We know how to you know, exercise and balance ourselves out throughout the day. And I just want to thank you both for being on the cooking talk show on tonight, Old Taste and See Cooking Talk Show. And I appreciate both of y'all sharing y'all experience with food and just experience with your favorite foods and how it's a comfort. It can be a comfort, and it can be even a blessing to our body and our digestive system. I want to thank all of you for watching us and in being enlightened by us on tonight. Thank you again for joining us at Old Taste and See Cooking Show. Have a good night.
Everything that had breath, shout for joy. Everything that had breath, shout for joy. 'Cause everything that had breath, shout for joy.